So listening to you about your journey and all, I'm sure you've met a lot of spiritual leaders before.
Yeah.
And uh, as you said, a lot of most religions actually proclaim devotion to God
Yeah.
as a central tenet.
Yes.
So we've also seen a lot of religious leaders taking people to the depths, fundamentalism in religion and everything.
Yeah.
So how would you guide us? How do we select the right guru? Since you have gone through this, how do you find the right spiritual leader to guide you? Considering we have a lot of wrong ones.
Of course, like there are black sheeps everywhere. So similarly in the field of religion also there are black sheeps. Say MIT. In MIT also there are some couple of duffers. Somehow they got inside MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, #1 engineering institute. But is MIT known for because of the duffers or because of its genius people? Well, genius people. But there are black sheeps even in MIT, in IIT. So black sheeps are everywhere. So are in the world of spirituality as well. There are black sheeps. Fundamentalists, or those who are crazy on the name of religion, and my way or highway. And they are very, very, I would say, exclusivist. My way or highway. That's it. So we see such people, not that they are very religious, they are actually lusty for power. But they try to satisfy the lust for power on the name of religion. We are just trying to spread the religion because we want peace. But we are saying that you are having pieces, not peace. Why? Because it is actually driven by lust for power. Like that. One of our spiritual leaders, his name is Radhana Swami. When he was young, he met one Hindu guy and one Muslim guy. And they were very good friends, this Hindu guy and Muslim guy. They were very good friends. So he asked that usually we have seen that Hindus and Mohammedans, they are always fighting with each other. In India especially, it's a big time conflict, always. India, Pakistan. But both of you are very good friends. How come both of you are good friends? So both of them, they gave a fabulous answer. They said, actually, the dog recognizes the master irrespective of the external wardrobe of the master. If the master comes in 3-piece Reed and Taylor suit, will the dog recognize the master? Yes, no? Yes, of course. If the master comes in swimsuit, will the dog recognize the master? Of course, yes. In case he comes in a t-shirt and shorts, will the dog recognize the master? Yes, of course. In case the master comes without clothes, will the dog recognize the master? Of course, yes. Because the dog recognizes the master irrespective of the external uniform of the master. Similarly, when one same God is being worshipped by various different rituals in different geographical locations by different names, but that one same God, and we are not able to recognize that one same God, then we have to learn so much from the dog. Because even a dog recognizes the master irrespective of the external uniform of the master. So similarly, God is there. Just like sun. Can I say, well, that's a Hindu sun that which is shining above India? That's a Hindu sun. And somebody who is in USA may say, oh, that's a Christian sun, That's a Christian sun. Somebody who is in Pakistan, Afghanistan may say, that's a Muslim sun. And the one who is in China, well, that's an atheistic sun. Make sense? Doesn't make sense. Can sun be Hindu? Can sun be Christian? Can sun be Muslim? No. But sun gives its sunlight to everyone. Right? Sun is not Hindu, sun is not Christian, sun is not Muslim, it's not Jain, it's not Jew. But sun gives its graceful sunshine to everyone. Similarly, one God, He is giving His grace to everyone. Just like sun has got various names. Like in Hindi we have got Surya, Bhaskar, or in English we say sun, The one who is from science background may say, it's a ball of hydrogen undergoing fusion reaction, converting into helium. Science background. But I am talking about one same entity, the Sun. Right? Similarly, God may have various names. Like his name is Christ. Christ means all pure. Because God is all pure. That's why God's name is Christ. God's name is Allah, because Allah means the greatest. Because God is greatest, that's why his name is Allah as well. God's name is Krishna, because Krishna means all attractive. Because God is all attractive. He's youthful. And that's why his name is Krishna. His name was Jehovah. Jehovah means most merciful. Because God is all merciful. That's why his name is Jehovah as well. Even a human being has got sometimes various names. My name may be Vicky in my friend circle. Officially Vikram. And maybe among my absolutely very close to my heart friends, they may call me a rotten guava. But rotten guava, Vicky and Vikram are different names of a same person, right? So even in this world, even a human being has got different names, but same entity. Similarly, God is one, but he's being worshipped by different rituals. Sometimes like this, sometimes like this, sometimes like this. But God is one. God can't be Hindu, just like Sun can't be Hindu, can't be Christian, can't be Muslim, can't be Jew. So those who are fighting on the name of religion, they are to learn so much from the dog. So much from the dog, because dog recognizes the master everywhere, yeah? So that's the thing. So those who are fanatics, fundamentalist, crazy, not that they are very religious. No. They are just lusty for power. That's it. That's it. There was one Hindu guy, he entered one Islamic territory. So there was one terrorist. He said, hey, are you Hindu or are you Muslim? He said, well, I am a Muslim. He said, really? Are you Muslim? Narrate one verse from the Quran. And he narrated one verse from the Gita. He said, Sarva dharman parityaja mamekam sharanam tam pape mokshaya mashacha. And okay, go. So his friend said, hey, he asked you to narrate a verse from the Quran, and you narrated a verse from the Gita, and this guy also left you. So this person said, if he would have ever read Quran properly with the right attitude, he would not have been a terrorist. So those who are fighting on the name of religion, they're not really religious people. They're some crazy people. That's it. Otherwise, like in Sanatana Dharma we say, Vasudeva Kutumbakam, it's a family of God. Like for me, all of you are like my sisters. It's my family. I'll not say, well, biologically we are not coming from same parents, so how can you be my sisters? But actually when we see that everyone is coming from God, then I see everyone as my family. So all of you are like my sisters, my brother, my mother. That's our family. You know what's the full form of family? Full form? F-A-M-I-L-Y. Father and mother, I love you. Yeah? Father and mother, F-A-M-I-L-Y. I love you. Yeah? Alright, and yes, we should be dictated by words of God. That is best. We all should be dictated by the words of God. Under His guidance. That's the thing. Like guidance is the full form of guidance is GUI, and then there is dance. That is guidance. What's the full form of GUI? Graphical user interface? No. G for God, U for you, I for I. God, you, and I dance. That's guidance. Who has ever seen salsa? Who has seen salsa? Okay, not seen salsa? Yeah? I have seen. It's a very graceful form of dance, salsa. Salsa appears to be a very graceful form of dance. Why? Because in salsa, one takes a role of being controlled and another person that takes a role of controller. If both try to play the role of controller, dance would be such a messy performance. Yeah? But one voluntarily accepts the role of being controlled, another being controller, and that way salsa appears so graceful. Similarly, ballet also. Yeah? So dance form appears to be very graceful. Why? The one person has taken the role of being controlled, another the controller. So in our life, God be the controller and we be the controlled. So GUI, God, you and I dance. That is guidance. But you be the controller, I be the controlled. And then the life is a performance. Otherwise, messy life. Is that okay? Yeah. Any other question? Yes?